Worms are my favourite creatures. They're the most willing and effective workers you could ever put into your garden. And a worm farm waste system is a key part to this self-sustaining property. It's an energy-efficient house. It's based on passive solar heating, permaculture principles are applied, and it just shows you how many sound and effective ways there are to live in tune with nature. John and Julie Eldridge started building their mud brick house 10 years ago on the Mornington Peninsula.
We were interested in living as sustainably as possible, having as little impact, adverse impact on the environment as possible, and as much positive impact as possible. The house is mud brick. All of the internal walls in the house are mud brick as well, and this gives the house a lot of thermal mass, which acts as a big heat bank in the winter time and a heat sink in the summertime. We wanted to really handle deal with all of our wastes on site. We didn't want wastes going off to landfill. There's a saying which says garbage in, garden out, which I quite like. We've got a worm farm waste system into which we can put any and all organic matter that we might have. All our household waste, including water from showers, washing machine, kitchen sink and the toilet, is all going down into there. Whilst I did know of composting toilets, it seemed very hard to get it through council and so forth, and so we put a septic system in. Now, another perhaps mistake that we made at the time was to completely tie up together within the slab our grey water and black water. So our water from the showers and so forth was all coupled up with the water from the toilet. Once it was locked in concrete like that, no way of separating it. But then I found out about the worm farm waste system, because that is able to handle both the grey water and the black water. Air is important in this aerobic digestion, and that's really the essential difference between the worm farm waste system and the septic tank. In a septic tank you've got anaerobic digestion, and the output from it is a sort of dull, dead, greasy, sludgy looking liquid, whereas this aerobic liquid is bright and clear. It's liquid with some nutrients in it. They're fairly dilute, of course, and essentially it goes down into our absorption trenches.
So air is vital to this system. An air vent like this puts extra oxygen down to where the microorganisms need it. So, from this ordinary old compost bin, it's a veritable worms workshop.
The whole system is contained within a standard septic tank, or if you were getting this installed as a new system, it would be a tank similar to what the septic tank is. The size varies depending upon the size of your household, really. The material is getting broken down into very, very fine particles, which then dissolve into the liquid and exit the tank with the other liquid. So there's no material is ever taken out of this tank other than what comes out with the liquid.
It can be a single site, as this is with John's here, or it can be like Puckapunyal as an example, where there's one there doing 460 people a day. So it can be micro-sited or micro down to an individual site. It can be a large site. It can be a whole town. One of the fallacies about worms is that they drown, but in an aerated liquid and with food, they'll process and continue to process the liquid and the solids.
The nutrient-rich discharge from the worm farm waste system plus aerobic bacteria all contribute to healthy soils and hence a wonderful ornamental and productive garden.
Far quicker at picking up an insect than I am, you know. We've got chooks and we put a lot of waste through them, and they do some processing of that. And after they've processed it, we can use that waste as mulch or as compost to grow more vegetables and so on. So it's all part of that cycle, keeping things going round and round rather than the straight line approach.
So there are simple and natural ways of processing your organic waste, including sewerage, and you get a great garden like this, plus you're reducing what you put into the council landfill, and that is always important. So how often does the garbage truck stop at your house?